Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Vote TV YouTube Live. Welcome to the couch. Welcome to the couch. Welcome to the couch, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I'm really excited. I'm fired up. And I know that this show tonight is going to be on fire. Because things have changed in American politics. Things have changed in American politics, ladies and gentlemen. The last 2 weeks have not been the same. The last 2 weeks have not been the same. Those who are joining the show, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, everybody. The last 2 weeks have not been the same. Since Joe Biden stepped down and Kamala Harris is now the running candidate for the Democratic Party, things have not been the same. Yes. I've never seen a campaign like this. Probably, and I'm going to throw these in there, since Obama. What I'm witnessing with Kamala Harris, just the last 2 weeks, I have not seen this kind of energy or enthusiasm since Obama. Man, we're just getting started. And you can agree to disagree, but I'm saying what actually is being quoted in multiple news networks. Let me tell you something, man. I just finished watching the Kamala Harris, Tim Walz rally in Arizona. And oh my God, OMG. What a. Are we going to sit here and talk? Are we going to sit here and talk about how many people attended the rally? Are we going to talk about Trump's most favorite crowd size? Addiction. You know, Trump is addicted with crowd sizes, right? Everything has to be about crowd sizes. Crowd sizes. I've watched the past 4 rallies because Kamala and Tim, these two candidates, they are hungry and they're on the road. And I'm gonna tell you, that rally today in Arizona, for me personally, and again, you can agree to disagree because this is Vote TV and you are welcome to say anything. Chat, let me see in the chat. I want to see the chat section going crazy because I'm going to start pinning your comments in the chat. I'm going to start pinning your comments on the screen. Oh my God, it all started with Atlanta. It all started with Atlanta. Let's go back to the Kamala Harris rally in Atlanta. She had superstars. She had the arena was completely filled. Completely filled. There was no space, no empty seat. And then that rally set the pace. And we're going to start with the famous statement that she made. And let me play this for you folks. When she said this to Trump.
Well, Donald, I do hope you'll reconsider to meet me on the debate stage. Because as the saying goes, if you've got something to say it to my face.
Yo. Let me pause that right there. Whew, and the fact that they even put the Not Like Us soundtrack on their cart. That was how this whole thing started. There is something that I keep on telling my audience on YouTube. I've been telling you, A, I have a huge following on TikTok. B, I'm active on TikTok. And C, TikTok, that's where the magic is happening. If you want to know what's trending, if you want to know what's happening in the scene, watch, study TikTok. And having a YouTube channel, what I usually do, I migrate content from TikTok to YouTube. Kyle T, I see you. Kyle T is saying Trump 2024. Absolutely fine, because everybody has the right to pick on whichever candidate you want to pick on. But all that I'm saying is, that's why I took a break. I took a 2 weeks break to talk about American politics. But I've been studying everything. I was like, okay, Joe Biden is gone. Okay, then we had the Trump assassination attempt. Okay, then Kamala Harris comes in the picture, and I was like, how is she going to perform? And oh boy, let me tell you something, man. And again, I'm neutral. I don't support the Democrats. I don't support the Republicans. I'm neutral. I'm independent. And I'm a scholar of politics. I just love global politics. But let me tell you something, man. Kamala Harris has become this new sensation across the board. And I repeat what I said earlier. Watching Kamala Harris campaign, watching Kamala Harris hit the road, it's giving me Obama vibes. It's honestly giving me Obama vibes. Not only that, now that she has become this famous meme character on social media, especially on TikTok, it's like everything that Kamala Harris is touching, everything that Kamala Harris is saying, every statement that stands out. Like now, for example, when she said, say it to my face, let me come over here. I want to show you something. Like all of a sudden, that statement is automatically printed on the merch. You see this?
If you got something to say it to my face.
See this? This is what I'm telling you, man. What I'm watching I'm studying these elections very, very carefully, meticulously. And I'm paying attention to what every platform, how every social media platform is reacting to this. But I'm gonna tell you, right now, Kamala Harris is running social media. Everything she says, they're printing it on the merch automatically. Maybe can I make it maybe bigger for you to see? Everything she says, it's on the merch. say it to my face became an overnight trending statement on social media. Say it to my face. When she says we are not going back, everybody is running. Everybody is running with that statement. And the next thing you see, you have merch selling on social media. Let me know. Let me know what you think in the chat, bro. I want to see. Drop all these comments. I want to pin these comments on the screen, and we can engage. It doesn't matter who you support. Like Kyle T is saying, Trump 2024. What I'm saying is very simple. The Democrats got something going on right now with Kamala Harris. Let's go back to that. Let's have a look at that rally in Atlanta. Look at this. Crazy. Crazy. Okay, that's Kamala Harris' TikTok account right now, which has 4.2 million followers. This account has already 4.2 million followers. Let me know what you think. Marla, welcome. Saying you're doing a good job. Thank you. ADSNU is saying Trump is the GOAT for real. Okay? Now, remember, and we're actually gonna get into all these reactions. Animal Magic is saying Trump's losing, it's over. Now, let me tell you something, man. This was Atlanta, okay? This was Atlanta. But have you seen the rally today in Arizona? We have larger crowd. I think she had a larger crowd. I think she had a larger crowd in Arizona than in Atlanta. And by the way, Detroit yesterday broke all numbers. Mala, welcome. Again, and by the way, I know like a lot of my followers on this channel, they support Trump, but on the other hand, I'm here to document every party. One thing I would urge you to do, just be respectful in the comments. Okay? Just be respectful in the comments. DJ Spicy, Kamala for the win. And politics, in politics, you gotta be smart. In politics, you gotta be strategic. And I remember, was it like 3 weeks ago when I came on this channel and I have a feeling that the Democrats are gonna pull out something, they're gonna pull out this chess move that's gonna put Trump on the edge and get the Republicans confused. I can comfortably say that 2 weeks later, I'm watching Trump's campaign. I'm watching what he is saying. I'm watching how his reaction to Kamala, his reaction to her VP pick, and I can tell that he doesn't have those punchlines. He doesn't have the right punchlines like he had for Joe Biden. Okay? Allow me to say, we have been watching these speeches by Trump. Like yesterday, he gave this press conference where for 60 minutes, to be accurate, for 64 minutes, Trump was just rumbling. there was he was completely going off the script. He was and by the way, all these attacks that he's putting on Kamala, they are getting him in more trouble. Thank you, Dr. GGT is saying that's the word that I'm looking for. He's spiraling. Okay, even at one point, you could tell that he had completely lost his track of thoughts. Okay, I mean, again, keep on dropping these comments in the chat. Let's have this conversation. Kamala Harris, and the thing is, when I come over here, I'm stating facts. She campaigned in Arizona today, and in Arizona, where Trump was leading Biden by 3-4 points, today the polls indicate that Kamala Harris is leading Arizona with 2 points. DJ Spicy is saying, we have to say the truth. I love the man, but he can't win this election. Now there is something else that has really changed the trajectory of this election in America. And I'm going to tell you what's changed. Now, I repeat, I do believe, and I say this before, the outcome of the American elections is going to be defined by women voters and the Gen Zs. We're talking about voters 25 years and below. Kamala Harris stepping on the plate 2 weeks ago has changed the scope of these elections. You can agree to disagree. You can agree to disagree. The enthusiasm for people to vote in this country has gone off the roof. The following is happening, and I'm looking at all the technicalities, all the technical details, all the technical information. The number of new registered voters in America has gone up since Kamala stepped in the race. That's number one. Number two, and these are facts. Number two, the number of volunteers, people who are willing to support the campaign, has also gone off the roof. Unfortunately, not for the Republicans, unfortunately, not for Trump, but for Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party. Let me pin some of these comments and read them as we proceed. Trump is running for 1, attention; 2, for money; 3, to stay out of jail. They're actually calling this the race between a prosecutor and a convicted felon. That's what's happening. Kamala Harris was a former prosecutor in California, and Trump is officially a convicted felon in the United States of America. Guys, Kamala Harris has just been in this race for 2 weeks now. And what we're witnessing, and I'm going to say this again, Kamala Harris is giving me Obama vibes back in 2008. This kind of energy, this kind of enthusiasm, this kind of like people like showing up at the rallies in large numbers. Biden never had this. Okay? Okay? I'm going to keep on pinning those comments as we move on. Okay? Biden never had this kind of energy. And actually, Doctor is saying what? I'm getting better than Obama vibes. I'm telling you. Let's go through what has happened the past 2 weeks. There is the women. I'm seeing the Women for Harris movement that crashed Zoom and raised over $8.5 million. I've seen another movement. They're calling themselves Vets for Harris. Then we have another movement that is called White Dudes for Harris. White Dudes for Harris. And this is like a bunch of actors and it's just crazy. I've never seen anything like this. But I want to show you something, and I'm gonna specifically pin this video to show you the other movement that has come up from nowhere, out of the blues, and they're calling themselves Republicans for Harris. Let me play the video, okay? And again, you know what I do? Like I do, because I'm very active on TikTok. I show you, I bring you these reactions from TikTok to YouTube. Watch this.
And I think the time has come for us as Arizona Republicans to admit the obvious and to start saying the quiet part out loud, which is that our party's nominee is not qualified for office.
What? Listen, pay attention to this. The Republican mayor of Mesa, Arizona, John Walz, said, I think the time has come for us as Arizona Republicans to admit the obvious, which is,
and that we need to vote for the adult in the room, and that is Kamala Harris.
It is time to put partisan loyalties aside and vote for the leadership that will truly represent the people we want to be in the eyes of the world. Character matters.
And I think the time has come for...
Okay, let me pause that. Let me pause that for a second. Let me pause that for a second. Okay? Have you guys seen anything like this before? Where Republicans are standing up and then saying, we're gonna support Kamala Harris, we're gonna support the one who's running for the Democratic Party as a presidential candidate. What do you think about this video? I'm gonna play it again. You react in the chat. I pin your comments.
For us as Arizona Republicans to admit the obvious and to start saying the quiet part out loud, which is that our party's nominee is not qualified.
The way he says it. To admit the obvious and say the quiet part out loud, which is that our party's nominee, that is Donald Trump, is not qualified for office. These are Republicans. The guy who's talking is a mayor in Arizona, which is a battleground state, and where today Harris and Tim Walz had a historical rally. Okay? And I repeat, I know especially on this channel, I have a lot of Trump Republican supporters. One thing I always keep on telling you is this. You can support who you want to support. On Vote TV, I'm here to bring you what I call facts, and then you can debate. And by the way, those who support Trump, they will never change. They will never change. They will never change. But there is something that is happening on the other side. Okay? There is something that is happening on the other side. We are watching young voters, women, and more independent voters leaning towards Kamala Harris. And now what we have officially as the Kamala Harris Team Walz ticket. Okay? Guys, let's have a look at more. Let me play some more reactions on TikTok, okay? Let me start with this. Let me play this one right here.
Republicans for Harris.
Yes. So his name is this is Drayton Nay on TikTok. He's actually live right now. He's an amazing TikToker. Listen to what he's saying about the Republicans for Harris.
And I think the time has come for us as Arizona.
Republicans for Harris are having a live right now from Mesa, Arizona. And all I can say is that it's absolutely an amazing thing to watch. These women have been elected to office, and these women are standing up right now in front of news and everybody and saying, yes, we've been Republicans for 40, 50 years.
That's crazy.
But this isn't about Republican anymore. This is about right and wrong.
So that part. This is not about Republican or Democrat. This is about right or wrong. Again, women. Let's continue.
About decency and not decency. And we are voting for Harris. We are voting for Harris to be president. We don't think Donald Trump is fit for anything. And it's time the Republican Party stand up and mean something again. And she said, both women said, I voted for Trump. I regret that vote, and I will not make that mistake again. So here was this big group of Republicans saying, we are Republicans for Harris. It's time for Republicans to turn the page on Donald Trump. Enough is enough. And wow, all I can say is, wow. It took women to have the guts to stand up and say enough is enough. These women out of Mesa, Arizona, are going to be looked at fondly over the years.
Let me actually repeat what I said on this channel about 3 weeks ago. I said women will define the outcome of these year's presidential elections. Let's continue.
We're doing right now and standing up and saying enough is enough, and Donald Trump isn't acceptable. And we need to move on from it, and we need to grow, learn, and become the Republican Party that we used to be. Wow.
Okay, so that's Drayton Nay on TikTok. That's he was making a comment about this particular event. The one I just played the video. I'm gonna play that video one more time. What happened in Mesa?
And I think the time has come for us as Arizona Republicans to admit the obvious and to start saying the quiet part out loud, which is that our party's nominee is not qualified for office.
Okay, so that's a very powerful statement. We are saying the quiet part out loud. Note that. Okay? Note that. By the way, can I give you a tip? Everyone who's watching this live right now. If your major source for news is like what you watch on CNN or Fox News or ABC News or whatever, if that's where you get your news, let me tell you something. That's just 10%. That's just 10%. Social media, that's the new cable news network. That's where it's happening. Like, for example, and allow me to say this again, because again, I'm big on TikTok. I have a huge following on TikTok. We just crashed 300,000 followers on TikTok, and so I pay attention to a lot of what is happening on TikTok. TikTok is on fire right now. Okay, J-Link, I repeat, we don't have, listen, you don't have to agree to anything that I'm saying. But I always keep on saying on this channel, agree to disagree respectfully. So I respect you and you respect me. That's what it is. That's what democracy is. We agree to disagree, but respectfully. Now, who watched the Trump press conference yesterday? Let me see in the chat. Who watched the Trump press conference yesterday? Thank you, J-Link. Thank you. That's absolutely fine. Yes. Yes. You respect me, but you don't agree. That's absolutely fine. We can chop it up. Like J-Link, like it's on this channel, I always keep on saying like this is like a cookout. Okay. You bring your barbecue sauce. Your uncle brings the beer, whatever, and then we sit on the table, and as we are chopping it up, we can argue, we can laugh. Come on, that's what democracy is. Okay. Now, let me read this. Let me see some of these comments. Let me pin this comment from Dr. GT3. They can't replace Trump because the cult would have to find something else to do. At this point, that the Republicans are literally fucked up. No way. They have no other candidate. Nobody can replace Trump because Trump owns the Republican Party. That's the difference between the Democrats and the Republicans. The Republicans don't have anybody else that can replace Trump. Trump runs the Republican Party. The Democrats were able, you see the way they made their flip. Joe Biden, you're too old. Joe Biden, you can step down. And then they had somebody else to step up on the plate. And now we have Kamala Harris, who's just making. I gotta tell you something, man. This woman has caused a seismic shift in American politics. Okay. Now, I wanted to say something about Trump's press conference yesterday. That press conference was one of the worst press conferences that I've ever seen Trump conduct, personally. I will say, and again, I speak about this as I'm a scholar of politics. I love politics. I love global politics. I love what's happening in America. I study what's happening in America. I study what's happening in Europe. I study what's happening in Africa, in Asia. I'm open in South America. I'm open. Okay? But that press conference yesterday, he appeared to be completely out of place. And let me tell you something. There is one thing that, and my fellow Republicans, you can agree to disagree. If Trump wants to win this election, he has to stop with the personal attacks against Kamala Harris, because that's not taking him anywhere. He has to stick to the policies, what he's going to change and what he's going to do. These personal attacks on Kamala Harris, saying that she's, she has a low IQ, calling her dumb, and all that stuff, that is not resonating well, not only with Republicans, but with undecided voters and independents. I repeat, you can agree to disagree. Then something else he spoke about yesterday, and actually this actually got, this got personal, Um, when he started saying that he had when he was addressing the protesters on January 6th, he said the crowd was bigger than when Martin Luther King made the historic speech in Washington. Oh, come on now. Come on now. You know, Trump has this tendency of sometimes I think he just says stuff, because nobody can fact check him in time. The mainstream journalists don't have the balls to call him out when he says something inaccurate. But of course, that's why we have social media. That's why we have social media, because people fact check in real time. People on X, they fact check in real time. People stand up on TikTok and they record these TikToks, and they fact check that in real time. Folks on YouTube, they do the same, even more accurately. Okay. So again, my personal opinion. Come on, man. You ain't gonna stand there and say that you had a bigger crowd than Martin Luther King. That's absolutely bogus. And that's it. That's Trump's obsession with crowd size. And on the other side, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, they are out here just crashing it. Okay. Gabe is like, how much did Kamala pay you? Nothing. Zero. Nada. I'm just a fan of politics. I mean, if you know this channel, oh my God, you should come up here when I'm doing Trump sessions, man. It's always fired up. But I balance what I present on this channel, because I am independent. I can analyze the Republicans. I can analyze Trump. I can talk about Kamala. You know what I mean? Like, okay. So the other thing I wanted to make sure thank you. Focus on the policies. Thank you, Juan. Right now he got this new habit of calling her Kamala. Kamala. Mispronouncing her name. And then you got people saying, yo, this is racist. It's different, like when you call someone, like, like the way, because Trump has a name for everybody. Like he would say, like, crying shoe me, shifty Adam Shift, whatever. He has all these names, right? But when you talk about Kamala, like you can't pronounce her name properly, like acting like on purpose. You act like you can't pronounce her name properly. Then people look at this and they say, hey, stop being racist. And can I say something? Let me give you an example, right? My first daughter, I was born in Kenya. My ex, who's the mother to my first daughter, is white German. So my daughter is biracial. Okay? Is biracial. Do we have what's all these things? What is all this obsession with Kamala's heritage? Let's talk about that for a second. What's this obsession with Kamala's heritage? The mother was from Asia. The mother is Indian. And her father is Jamaican. Black. Kamala Harris is biracial. The chat is on fire. Okay? Do we have to define to people what biracial, what's the definition of biracial? So like when Trump was doing that, was invited, and that was another terrible press conference. Interview, when she was having an interview with that, fraternity of black journalists, and he says that Kamala used to be Indian and now she's black. She just became black, and he just went on. That's just rambling, because we know, fact check everything. Kamala Harris has always been proud of her black heritage. Are we clear on that? Are we clear on that? I can see the chat. The chat is going crazy. And that's exactly what makes these sessions so interesting. If you're new here, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. I want to play some more. Let's have a look at more reaction on TikTok, okay? And I'm going to play, oh, yes. So I got this guy. So let me
Kamala Harris is the.
So I got this guy. This guy is called Luke. So what Luke does, Luke always goes to Trump rallies, and then he talks to the Trump supporters. Okay? Listen, man, I'm going to play this clip for 3 minutes and 10 seconds. I will not interrupt anything. But please, feel free to react in the comment section what you think about this. Roll the tape.
Kamala Harris is the biggest threat to democracy yet.
So then, by your logic, you're provoking violence.
If that's what it takes, then I guess so.
What? What you mean? Over the years, I have been to some wild Trump rallies, including the last one where an assassination attempt took place. So today, we don't know what awaits us, but let's go do it.
I started off as a Satanist, and I was hardcore against him and everything. I was a hardcore liberal and all that, but then my mom hadn't started inviting me to church. Church was the main reason I started listening to him, because he was doing more of the things that I believed in.
Why would Trump be?
Watch this.
If we think about sort of the principles Jesus stood for, why would Trump be the embodiment of that type of figure? A godly man, when he was found in a civil trial to have raped a woman, he talked about grabbing women by the you-know-what. He can't name a single Bible verse. He's been divorced twice. No record of him ever really going to church. Speaks about people like John McCain. Oh, he's not a hero because he was captured. I like people who weren't captured. Disparaging our veterans, suckers and losers. Making fun of disabled people. Is that really the Christian man?
Why believe the news? Why believe all the news?
God, man.
He's a winner. He's a fighter, and he's going to take down Kamala.
Except for 2020. He didn't win then, right?
I still think that he did. Don't judge me. He won 2020. I don't care what anybody else says. I think he won.
You don't care what anyone else says, like all the courts and investigations and audits and recounts. And
Not one bit.
what's the most important issue in this election?
Nobody knows.
What's the most important about the election?
Nothing. Keep on watching, folks.
Yeah. And what would you say the most important is in this election?
The border.
Does it bother?
Economy.
Yeah. Does it bother you that Trump got Republicans to shoot down that border security bill?
No.
Top issue in this election, the safety of our country as a whole.
Does it make you feel good, or maybe more supportive of Biden-Harris, and now Harris, that crime has been plummeting under Biden?
No.
We got to finish that wall because it was working fine. And we got to get our liquid gold out from under the ground. And to the hell with the electric.
What would you say to the stat that we're producing more oil production now than any time in American history?
That's not valid. Keystone's not open.
It was low.
Here's my question. I was just told, I was pounded over the head with a talking point that the reason the assassination attempt of Trump happened is because people said he was a threat to democracy. Oh my gosh, people correctly identified that he's really bad for democracy. Somehow that caused a deranged person, who was a Republican, by the way, to do something terrible. And I agree it was terrible. Absolutely. So now you're saying Kamala Harris is a threat to democracy. Are you not provoking violence?
Kamala Harris is the biggest threat to democracy, yes.
So then, by your logic, you're provoking violence.
If that's what it takes, then I guess so.
Oh my God. I mean, you can even see his reaction. Okay? Like should we prepare like for January 6th, 2.0? Okay? What do you think about that? And by the way, tomorrow, I'm doing a whole live stream about Project 2025. Okay? Tomorrow we're gonna be having a look at Project 2025. I want to play them. Listen, I'm gonna be bringing more TikTok reactions on my YouTube channel, because on TikTok, I'm telling you, that's why it's happening. Okay, that's why it's happening. I want to play something I was looking for. Something I was looking for. Just give me 1 second. Okay. We had the polls right now. The polls right now.
A new CBS News poll shows Harris has something President Biden never enjoyed this year, a slight edge over Donald Trump. And across the battleground states, the two candidates are tied, 50-50. All in all, an essentially even race. Out on the road this week talking to Democratic voters.
And actually, this was 5 days ago, but
shows Harris has something President Biden never enjoyed this year, a slight edge.
Look, for the first time, so Kamala Harris has only been in the race for 2 weeks and has been able to overtake Trump in different polls. Mind you, FHL, yes, you can say polls are fake. Polls are fake. Don't believe the polls. But guess what? We cannot avoid talking about the polls. Okay? I repeat, you can call polls fake. You can say they're fake. You can say whatever you want to say. But even Trump himself, he talks about the polls all the time. So don't get personal. When Trump was leading in the polls the whole time Joe Biden was president, I know my channel. I was talking about polls back then. Okay? And by the way, talk about fact checking. What Trump, when Trump speaks, there's a website that actually has been launched that is specifically fact checking everything that Trump is saying. B1692. Yes, you can believe she's a plant. That's your opinion. Okay? So in only 2 weeks, Kamala Harris has been able to overtake Trump in the polls. Kamala Harris and Team Walz right now, they are on the road. They are not playing. They are not playing. B1692, by the way, I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. Guess what? Everything they talk about and everything they speak is being fact checked. Okay? So, I love the heat. I love the heat in the comment section. Okay? You cannot ignore the polls. You cannot. You're gonna hear polls, 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 polls every day, every second. It's all about polls, 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 polls. Now we have 89 days left to the elections. We have 89 days left to the general elections. The fact is, and I'll repeat, and you know, I said this a couple of weeks ago, when Trump was running against, when it was Trump and Joe Biden, I came up here and I said, folks, doesn't look good, folks. Doesn't look good, folks. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. I had actually said I'm very sure that Trump is gonna shred Biden easy. But I'm gonna tell you something though. Now with Kamala Harris in the picture, and then she picked this candidate that I gotta say, I never knew who Tim Walz was. But right now, everyone is saying, you gotta like this guy.
Mind your own damn business.
He was in Philadelphia when he spoke for the first time.
Now, Donald Trump sees the world a little differently than us. First of all, he doesn't know the first thing about service. He doesn't have time for it because he's too busy serving himself. Again and again and again, Trump weakens our economy to strengthen his own hand. He mocks the laws. He sows chaos and division. And that's to say nothing of his record as president. He froze in the face of the COVID crisis. He drove our economy into the ground. And make no mistake, violent crime was up under Donald Trump.
People watching, I'm putting the comments on the screen, folks. Let's go.
That's not even counting the crimes he committed.
Wait. They're punching right there. Really crazy.
You know, some of us are.
Yeah, this is the locking up chance.
Are old enough to remember. I see you down there. I see those old white guys. Some of us are old enough to remember when it was Republicans who were talking about freedom. It turns out now what they meant was the government should be free to invade your doctor's office. In Minnesota, we respect our neighbors and their personal choices that they make. Even if we wouldn't make the same choice for ourselves, there's a golden rule. Mind your own damn business.
Yeah, that one right there.
Mind your own damn business.
Mind your own damn business. Like I'm gonna tell you something. Everything that I'm watching, when Kamala says something that stands out, it automatically becomes a print on a merch. When Tim Walz says something, it automatically starts trending and it becomes a print on a merch. Now remember that soon after Kamala Harris announced Tim Walz as her running mate, they raised $15 million within hours. Now, I'm going to say something here. Okay, I'm going to say something here. Did you guys see? Do you know how much Kamala Harris and Trump raised in July from donors? Okay. No. I'm waiting for someone to just out. How much did Kamala Harris and Trump raise in July? So the Harris campaign. No. That has nothing to do with Biden money. The Harris campaign raised $310 million in July. $310 million. I'm telling you, I'm watching all these ads on Facebook, aka Meta. I'm watching all these ads popping up on YouTube. $5, small donors, $310 million in July. And Trump raised a third, literally a third of what she has raised in July. Okay. Why are the donations a scam? Every campaign needs money. Every campaign needs money. Every campaign needs money. I mean, it's just, see, we are looking at all this, all these signs. You're looking at, okay, what's the turnout at the rallies? What's happening with the donations? And I want you guys to remember what I'm going to say tonight. No. This is not about, it's not just about money, FHL. No. It's not just about money. But remember, again, the parties have a right to when they get a lot of money, they boast about it. They say, hey, we clocked 200 mil this month. See where I'm coming from? There's something I want to say. I'm going to say this tonight. And on November 6th, we're going to come back here, and I'm going to remind you what I say tonight. It's 11:38 p.m. in the East Coast. It's 11:38. It's Friday, August 9th, 11:38 p.m. I'm going to say this right now. The outcome of these elections is going to be defined mainly by A, women. Okay? Women. Baba Yaga, I'm not American. I live in America, but I have the right on this channel. I'm a YouTuber, bro. We talk about politics in America. I cover Europe. I cover Africa. It's not about where I come from or accents. Don't be a goofy. Yeah, I proceed. I don't give any airtime to stupid comments. I get millions of comments, and I have a very big platform. Oh, I'm very proud of my heritage. I was born in Kenya, raised in Germany, and I live in the United States of America. So, with that said, what I'm going to say, this election is going to be defined by women, and it's going to be defined by Gen Zs. That is voters who are under 25 years. Thank you, Pasquale. Okay? The outcome of these elections in America is going to be defined by women and Gen Zs. It's 11:40 p.m. on August 9th. Now, something is going to happen on November 5th. We're going to have a lot of women voters and a lot of Gen Z voters in America. Let's see you tomorrow at exactly 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We shall continue. God bless you. God protect you. Spread love. And may you rise tomorrow, shine, and prosper. Thank you very much.